Hi, my name is Matthew Darden. My wife and I are the house directors here at Hope House on Marlboro. I'm also the facilities guy and facilitate the job training program with the boys. So they have an opportunity not to train the child for the job, but the path for the child. Yeah, so I think the job training program has been different for each boy, just like the jobs have been different for each boy. Each of them have different giftings and talents, so it's interesting to see how maybe the reason one of them's here isn't the same as the other one, but at the same time the camaraderie of getting the job done. And we can horse around, we can play, but when it comes down to it, we gotta do work. And it's not always about working hard, it's about working smart, but it's about working consistently, and it's about being a team member and facilitating part of that team. And part of what's happened with that dynamic is we felt the weight when one of the team members have let us down, and whether that's punctuality, whether that's just not giving their effort on a job site. And what's happened was, instead of it being something that was contentious among the boys, it was an opportunity for them to call each other up. And that's not something you see among grown men, and so that is a rare and unique joy. I think like anyone, the work's part of it. I think it's a dynamic between them as well as myself. I think that there's just a sweetness there and a community that's being built as the friendships are kindling and have been maintained throughout and past, and that's a cool thing to see. I think the boys, they're all on different paths. Some of them have grown very much in skills. Some of them have grown very much socially. Some of them have started to understand that it's not just about what we're doing, it's about the idea of being teachable for the next thing. And so I remember one of the boys talking about how his uncle was painting the house and he walked off and he had left paint streaks. And so the boy came back and he's like, I had to fix his paint streaks. And his mom was so proud of him, and it was just a cool interaction to see, like, not only was he thinking it through, he was taking interest, and it was his house, and so he wanted it to look good, just to finish the job, to finish it well, to not be arrogant about it, but just be trying to do his part. And it's been nice to see that respect that he's had for himself, that's kind of given him some confidence. I'd say there's definitely some universal things that we see. We see that we have to take responsibility, and that's across the board, responsibility for punctuality, for those skills about getting to the job, because the job starts when you get up, through what it looks like to get prepped for the day and set yourself up for success. And so for setting yourself up for success looks like a lot of different things. And I think as they start to navigate that, it's just allowing them to use the tool that is money more, to start to develop those money management skills, the time management, to start to think about what the compromise is between what you want and what you need. We were all digging out a bush for a lady, and the boys, as is the way with boys, were just getting rough with the bush. And we kept telling them, dig deeper, you gotta get those roots out. And they were taking all day. And for the most part, throughout our whole experiences, whether it's been painting or staining, we've had pretty good morale. But the bush was our block, and we had a hard time. And we kept talking about it, and the boys are taking turns, and they're rocking it back and forth, and they're trying. They couldn't get it. And finally, they start just digging down deeper. And it turned out it was just one little root holding it down. But they had exerted so much effort and energy just rocking it back and forth that they wasted 2-3 hours. And as they got it out, they felt so good, and then they had went through the experience themselves. And so at the end, they were like, yeah, we should have just dug it down. And then it wasn't like a I told you situation. It was like a, yeah, that really sucked. And we didn't have to waste 45 minutes and all of our energy. And so as I think about how that encapsulates job training as a whole, would be the opportunity, the space for them to try, the safety net for them to fail successfully, and then the guidance for them to finish it strong and come together smoothly at the end. So as I think about Hope House and job training donors, the difference is we're not investing in a program, we're investing in a person. And so what the program has enabled, even as we talked about maybe my favorite story with the bush, is I wasn't on a time frame. Hope House wasn't on a time frame for that job. We had the time, the space to invest in the person, to let them make the mistakes and take their time to do it, even though it wasn't the most efficient, even though there was no bottom dollar that it was cutting into. And so what it allows, it changes that dynamic of, we we have to get this done, and I'm trying to sow into you also you're the main priority, and through that we're going to get this job done.